So welcome aboard commuters. So in this video, this is going to be a new series, and as you know, I've been doing some unboxings on Asset Drop, but I've not actually been doing anything with them. So as you can see, over the months I've collected a few bits. So I've decided that I'm going to start this series. This is going to be every Tuesday, and what I'll actually be doing is using at least one of the products. Obviously, if I can put them together, like maybe pick up two different things and use them together, fantastic. Now with regards to the paints, I'm going to paint with the paints. We'll see if we can break them, we'll see how far we can push them, what their actual use is. Basically we'll see what we can do with it. With the figures, I'm just going to put them together, and then I'm going to ask the all-important question, for the retail price, would I buy it?
Mind the gap.
Okay, so I'm just going to begin by saying that this has actually been recorded live on Twitch, and then what I've done is I've taken that Twitch stream and I'm just adding the voiceover. So the product we're going to look at today came from the January's Asset Drop Heroines box. Now the whole box did retail at £21.90. With a retail price of £30.40. So immediately there's a saving of £28. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the products that we're looking at today, and that's the Jasmine figure, which has a retail price of £16, and the base, which has a retail price of £2. So we're going to have a look at the figure, we're going to talk about it, and in the end I'm going to decide, is that product on its own value for money? So Jasmine is I'm actually going to read this straight from the card if nobody objects, because I don't think I can actually improve on it. So Jasmine is designed with inspiration from the ancient Persian Empire, hence her distinctive harem style pants, which are thought to have originated in Persia over 2,000 years ago. She's also carrying two curved blades likely to be shamshir. These originate in the Middle East and Central Asia, becoming especially popular in Persia. A shamshir shekagar is a specific type of sword that directly translates as the hunter's sword. These swords were always engraved with scenes from battles or hunts, similar to how Jasmine's weapons are engraved with patterns. Jasmine's swords are actually shorter than traditional shamshir weapons because she is dual wielding them. This is a difficult skill to master, and so Jasmine is likely a skilled warrior. The most skilled warriors of the ancient Persian Empire were known as the Immortals, an elite group of 10,000 heavily armed infantry that helped Persia rise to dominance due to their undefeated record in battle. The second product we'll briefly look at is the base, of which there's actually no there is one write-up. So it's a Persian temple style base. As I say, we will get to look at that a little bit later on. We're not going to paint this model today, we're just going to assemble it and we're going to have a look at it, maybe criticise. When I say bad things about things, I'm not saying it just for the sake of saying bad things. I'm trying to be critically honest with you. So let's have a look at the figure. Okay, so the model comes on two sprues. You'll find her top half from the belly up on one sprue, and on the bottom half you'll find her bottom half from the waist down and two arms. The amount of flash is fairly minimal. As you can see, I'm just trying to remove it now. It's that very fine flash as opposed to like bits that have gone through the moulds. Very, very easy to remove and not too much of it. Okay, rather than cut bits out, I've tried to speed this up. So I brought it up here. You can see the detail on it, and it is very finely detailed. I find that the actual body part of it is quite small, it's quite skinny, but then obviously when you've got things like the pants and the cloak, it really does bulk it up a bit. Okay, as you can see here, it does come with quite a weedy looking base. It's completely relevant size to it, and obviously if you want to use this base, that's absolutely fine, but obviously we're going to look at using the base that came with the Asset Drop box. Okay, I've chosen to freeze frame it here so that you can have a look at the base. It's actually built up on 3 or 4 layers. You've got right at the bottom, you've got like the soil layer. Then the next level up you have a layer of tiles, and then you can see just a little bit further back, which is roughly where my middle finger is, you've then got another layer of tiles, and then a little bit further back than that you've got a single tile that's raised. It's a very thick base. It is a very nice base too, and I can tell you immediately now, for retail price of £2, I feel that's really good value for money when you consider how much they sell plain bases for from other companies, or even some of the MDF bases. This is a solid resin base, very nice, lots of detail. Okay, and another freeze frame to show the Amphorae jars, but forgive me if I pronounce those incorrectly. Now these have a retail price of £1. They're small details that you can just throw on bases. I'm not sure if they're really going to emphasise it, but you know, I felt they came with the model. They're very period, and I would say, if you're buying something of that period, yeah, by all means, it's just a little something to add on to the base. So yeah, probably worth the £1. Okay, so now it's time to build the model. As you see, I'm just going to cut it off the sprues. What you will find is that the the top half, if you will notice at some stage that the top half has like a peg sticking out. The only flaw I found with this is obviously you're expecting a hole in the bottom half at the top for that peg to go into. Unfortunately, that peg didn't happen. Now you have 2 choices in this situation. You can either dig a hole out, you know, maybe drill a hole or something so that the peg can go in, or you can cut the peg off from the top half. In this particular case, I chose to cut the peg off from the top half. I don't know if it was just that I was lucky, but I found the fit was very good, and there was leaving a very minimal gap. I didn't actually stick the arms on. I did dry fit them many times. The reason I didn't stick them on, or glue them on, sorry, was simply because I felt that I mean obviously there's absolutely wonderful cape there, and I felt it would just restrict access to the cape. So I've decided it's probably best to glue the top half onto the bottom half, and then obviously prime it. Then we'll look at doing the skin, and then doing the cape, and then we'll put the arms on. And obviously we're going to paint the actual hands at roughly the same time as we paint the skin. Okay, so here's some pictures of her. Here, this one is from the front. This one is from behind. And these are her arms. Couldn't quite get the detail in on the swords. This is the lovely base that came with it. And these are the Amphorae jars. So, obviously I've had a look at this. I wasn't able to show you the extreme detail, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, some of the detail did show. What I found was a lot easier, unfortunately, after the event and using other models, is just to pop a quick shade over it, take a picture and then wash the shade off. That worked really well, and that really does emphasize the shade. Unfortunately, you know me, I'm learning all the time. So the big question is, would I buy this model? At £16, I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't, unless I was actually doing a Persian themed something or another, whether it be a diorama or a game that required a Persian scene. If I saw this sitting on the shelf, the size of the box didn't really thrill me, and I probably wouldn't buy it. It's a lovely model, and for the amount of money that I spent on the entire box, I thought it was very good value for money. But I'll be honest with you, it wasn't fantastic. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with something next week.